Hi, my dear friends. I want to talk about Dave Cullen a little bit. And his perception of the things, and not only his perception of the things. But first we need to listen this video.
Those of you who are active in online gaming communities might be aware of the story about the Activision Blizzard boycott. This story is quite extraordinary. And in a post-match interview, he shouted, "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our age." Well, for that, Blizzard stripped him of his prize money and banned him from Hearthstone competitions for a year. This sentence was eventually reduced to 6 months, and his winnings were reinstated. The suspension of the two broadcasters was also brought down to 6 months. The match and the interview video at the time were deleted by Blizzard. The following is a statement from Blizzard Entertainment from the 12th of October. On Monday, we made the decision to take action against a player named Blitzchung and two shoutcasters after the player shared his views on what's happening in Hong Kong on our official broadcast channel. At Blizzard, our vision is to bring the world together through epic entertainment, and we have core values that apply here. Think globally, lead responsibly, and importantly, every voice matters, encouraging everybody to share their point of view, blah, blah, blah.
Dear Dave Cullen, I understand that you are pretty much on your own and you don't care about, let's say, millions of workers who work for you or millions of fans who consume your goods. You simply a talking head from the internet, yet, sorry. Blizzard, it's a multi-billion or multi-million dollar company. Not only hire many people who can lose their job if they will lost some kind of core audience or lost, I don't know, profits or something along those lines. And if they speak that there is no place for politics in the gaming, I totally agree with them. It's the first of all. The second is must be said about you personally. In such conditions, I know that you're pretty much conservative person. You supporting Trump actions, etc., etc. But those protests is pretty much an orange revolution that probably, of course, probably it's only guess. But as you share in this video some, I don't know how to say, guesses, so I can guess right now. Hong Kong movement, it's not about freedom of less freedom or something along those lines. The Hong Kong protest, it's new orange revolution that happens in China just in time when suddenly US-China trade war happens. Of course, those things are not directly connected, but there was good, very good, let's say, very good reason to start such a protest in this time when the US government knew that there will be a trade war with China. Of course, if Donald Trump already established such an argument that there should be a trade war with China. So you must understand that Blizzard not only thinking about the profits, but yes, it does, but also it must think about the people who work for Blizzard, and many of them working in China, if you do not know, and they can lose their jobs. But let's continue.
A typical meaning otherwise. The actions that we took over the weekend are causing people to question if we are still committed. On about vision and core values. The only thing that corporations value is profit.
I'm sorry, Dave. Are you sitting on YouTube just because you're a good guy and sharing your thoughts just because you're a good guy and you're not about profits and you work not for profits in your personal life, in your, I don't know, anything else. What do you mean corporations? The whole capitalistic system is about profits. Why are you against it now? Why in this case you are against that corporation is for profits? What is wrong with that? Why? Literally, corporations could not be for that corporations is about the profit, it's bad, and Dave Cullen is about the profit, it's good. Why, Dave? Are you trying to be a hypocrite here or something along those lines? I'm sorry. I don't understand.
Stop pretending otherwise. The actions that we took over the weekend are causing people to question if we are still committed to these values. We absolutely gain control of Hong Kong. Seriously, do corporations like this even try to stay on the rail? Apparently you don't allow people to express their free speech and political dissent against an authoritarian regime that seeks to gain control of Hong Kong.
First of all, China don't try to gain control of Hong Kong. Second, authoritarian regime. Let me express this way. If China think about China, it's a bad thing. But when United States think about the United States, it's a good thing. Right? Am I got it correctly? They're not trying to regain control. There was agreement. If I recall this correctly, there was agreement between British Crown and Chinese government that this land will be rented for the Crown, and after the rent is over, the China will regain control. But in the same time, I don't see Dave Cullen is mad about, let's say, Barcelona, Catalonia protesters. Or I don't see that he is mad against Irish protesters being Irish. Or IRA, for example. No? You're totally in support of those. You are okay with that Catalonia want to separate, want get away from Spain. I don't see your support for them. I don't see your support for IRA. I don't see your support for California want to get out of United States. I don't see your support for Texas want to get out of United States. I see only support for Hong Kong. Suddenly, Western people start to care about Hong Kong that want to get out of communist regime, oppressive system of control. You know that it happens that I've been in China, and not only been in China, but pretty much everybody in my city once in a while going to China, sometimes only on holidays. And you know what? We don't know that it's oppressive regime, but you in Ireland, sitting on your ass behind your computer, you of course know that communist regime of China is so oppressive. Dave, you never thought that you may be brainwashed. You are the one who fighting against mainstream media bullshit. That they are lying to you, that they, I don't know, represent stuff that you, that is truly false. But when suddenly the same MSM trying to represent this situation as its Hong Kong protest against oppressive regime of China, you suddenly start to believe them because MSM said so. Dear Dave, either you're a hypocrite or an idiot. Choose one. Because you cannot sit on both chairs. You cannot be in support of core values, I mean conservative values, pro-freedom of speech, etc., 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 against mainstream media, and at the same time supporting the mainstream media bullshit against China, which is totally pointed on weakening China positions in this trade deal with USA. It will not, but let's try at least. USA want to try. USA losing control. I'm mad not even about the China actions or Hong Kong actions. No, I'm mad at Dave Cullen because Dave Cullen trying to in one video he's saying that mainstream media is lying, they all fake news, but in other videos suddenly all mainstream media represent to him is totally 100% truth. Dave, you know nothing about the cause of protests. You probably forget or you don't care about why protests being started. You don't even touch this subject in this video. Why? Why you don't touch the subject of that China demand extradition of murderer? A murderer, Hong Kong person who killed and then how to say it, I don't know, tear girl apart at parts in Taiwan, and they want to get this person and send him to Taiwan to prosecute him. Dave, do you forget about this part or you don't care about this part because it's not correlate with your personal agenda? Why no one even mentioned this fact? Why no one mentioned why this protest starts? Why no one mentioned why it's going on, etc.? I will try to listen further, but I guess I will be mad even more about this.
Seriously, do corporations like this even try to stay on the right side of history? If they really were committed to the value of every voice matters, then they would have completely overturned the suspensions, not just reduced them.
In this situation, it's not about the freedom of speech at all. If you want to, I don't know, if you want your voice heard, please do so. Look at me. I'm not trying to go to some event and shout my voice matters. Listen to me. If you came here to play. After you turn out or get out of event, tell everything you like on your Twitch, on your personal Twitch account. If it's not for the tournament, fine. Say whatever the hell you want. Why you needed to do this specifically on this event? You never thought about this part, Dave. You really need to push this agenda that Blizzard want to, I don't know, be a lapdog for the market. Of course they do. It's not that I'm saying that they don't. But the first of all, in such situations, just as with Twitter, if you don't like it, don't use it. But if you use it, at least follow the rules. What you trying to apply here? Everybody should, I don't know, came to your house and scream Dave Cullen is an asshole? Let them express their opinion in your house. Why not? Who cares that it's your private property? They want to express their opinion. Why can't they? Dave Cullen is an asshole. They will be shouting it standing in your living room. Is it will be cool? I guess you will not like it. But why? Why, Dave? Why will you not like it? Or you will say that you will like it. And you will be totally okay with that. Or someone will came to your workplace and will scream, Dave Cullen is an asshole, and here's the reasons why. And even without reasons, because this guy doesn't care about the reasoning behind his actions. This streamer or gamer. They just came to your workplace and will scream, Dave Cullen is an asshole. And what you going to do about it? Will you try to beat them up or, I don't know, call the police? So why Blizzard can't act the same way? Why they can't ban him? Maybe it's because you want to because you want this narrative that you believe in to be heard. And you don't care about the other side opinion at all. Or some reasoning behind this opinion. I thought you're pretty much no. For many years already, I know, Dave, that you are working on mainstream ideology. That you just simply follow the mainstream ideology, where everybody go and Dave Cullen go in there. It's hypocritical, of course. You doesn't care about your personal, I don't know. You don't care about freedom of speech. You don't care about anything. All you care about is profits. So you don't work and just making videos and travel all across the world if you want to. That's pretty much all you want. Why not? And I'm talking about this on my personal channel. I'm not trying to, I don't know, push my agenda on some gaming platform and talking about that Dave Cullen is hypocrite. No, I don't. It's my personal channel on YouTube, the platform that you don't like so much. And I can tell you more, 2 of my channels was suspended, and pretty much it doesn't stop me from doing still something that I want.
Over the weekend, Blitzchung used his segment to make a statement about the situation in Hong Kong, in violation of rules he acknowledged and understood, and this is why we took action. Yeah, but was it necessary? Or are you more concerned?
Yes, David, it was necessary. Don't fuck. Don't shit where you live and don't live where you shit. It's Russian proverb, and it works in this situation perfectly. If you want to gain money by the gaming, don't shit where you gaming. And don't gaming where you shit. It's simple as that, Dave.
That if you don't censor people in this way, that you won't be able to operate in China. Now, as a quick aside, there's an episode of South Park called Banned in China, which recently got the show banned in China. As the Hollywood Reporter pointed out recently, South Park has since been banned in the country. All mentions of the cartoon have been
I have no idea what this episode was about because I don't watch South Park. Yet I can assume that it was like shitting on China. In America, you're perfectly fine to do that, right? Shitting on your country because of mentality. In the China, it doesn't work that way. You don't shit on China, and country can protect itself if you shit on China, in China. So maybe you shouldn't in the first place. Maybe because you don't understand how Chinese mentality works, you're trying to apply your American logic. You're not American, but your logic is American. You're trying to apply your logic at China and think that if we shit on our country, it's okay, it's fine. And we can shit on everybody. Maybe not in this case. And why not they can do it pretty much easily. For example, modern warfare was like prevented from be sold in Russia after this bullshit with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, where when they represented Russians as stupid, unrealistically violent people, etc., etc. And the company prevented this game from being selling in Russia. Were you outraged about this? I hope the next video after this, when you see this video, if you will be, oh, how Call of Duty show bad Russians. Or not. Let me guess. Let me guess. Just guess. That not. That you don't care.
scrubbed from China's internet. The show can no longer be streamed. Yep, down the memory hole. And a renowned DJ called Zed has been permanently banned from China for liking a tweet from the South Park Twitter account. China, what a swell place.
DJZ made a tweet that he was banned in China because he liked the tweet. There was no further evidence of that. There is nothing that support his idea, and he absolutely not biased person against China for some reason that Dave doesn't mention here, because the people are biased, and if he did something, and if person did something shitty in country and been banned, maybe he go to like some tweet and then declare they banned me because I like the post on Twitter. No, Dave, it's absolutely 100% because of like.
Not in any way terrifying or anything. By the way, Twitter itself, the entire were not a factor in the decision we made. I want to be clear, our relationships in China had no influence on our decision. Yeah, except no one's really buying that, to be honest. So anyway, the statement, which was made by J. Allen Brack, president of Blizzard Entertainment, then goes on to talk about reducing the suspensions to 6 months and reinstate to protect its business interests in China. Hong Kong has been under a condition of civil unrest for more than 4 months. Millions of people have marched to demand sovereignty from mainland China and protest its socio-economic conditions. The ongoing protests have already garnered international attention, with the territory's increasingly complex relationship with China's communist government as a core issue. China spends more money on video games than any other country in the world, making the market a vital part of Blizzard's business. Tencent, one of China's biggest companies and the largest video game publisher in the world, owns a 5% stake in Blizzard's parent company, Activision Blizzard. So it's very interesting. There's some people who believe that this is an attempt to keep China sweet, basically. And some have found the story reminiscent of a recent story about the NBA. Blizzard is the latest American company to face criticism for its relationship to China. The NBA is also embroiled in its own controversy involving Hong Kong and China after Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey shared a tweet in support of the protests. Morey later apologized and deleted the tweet, but the situation has strained the league's relationship with China. So it seems that some US companies who should actually care about the First Amendment, which they benefited from when they were developing their businesses, are basically bending over backwards to appease.
Dave, first of all, I have to point out that it's not about the free speech at all. Free speech regulates your relationships between you and your government. It doesn't regulate when you come to the private platforms and not allowing you to say something against the rules of community, company, corporation, private person, or something along those lines. You can shit all you want on your government, but if you shit on others' private, I don't know, thinking, private property, or you violating some rules and regulations, you should be banned, or maybe even sued, or maybe even get into jail. Because you must understand that, as you probably don't know, because you're not American, and I'm too, but I understand at least, the First Amendment is specifically say that you allowed to free speak your thoughts. If the person who want to support Hong Kong protests, right, working in NBA, and after he personally delete his tweet, what does he do? He do it, I guess, personally. He said his opinion, then he deleted his own tweets. He shared his opinion in United States. That's all. What is the problem? if China want to ban somebody, if for example Chinese government officials or some Chinese company official will say that let go of Los Angeles, or let go of California, let go of Texas, or maybe you should make Ireland free from the United Kingdom, wouldn't you be probably banned in United States or Ireland? Probably not only banned, but also prosecuted, investigated, fined for that. But in case of Hong Kong, for some reasons, by your logic, according to your logic, it's okay to support separatistic movements in other country and share your support. I wouldn't go further because I don't know what he's saying there. And this BitChute thing is pretty shitty, so I will stop here. Yet, I want to say this. You must understand, Dave, that narrative that comes from mainstream media is once again lie. Mostly it's a lie. Those protests have nothing in common with freedom or oppression or something along those lines. The shitty conditions in Hong Kong created by capitalistic government of Hong Kong, which is more or less still not private, but other country, more or less. Because why in the first place all those problems happens? Because it's a different country pretty much for now. And they have different laws. So let me explain this right now. The people who are in the core of those protests, it's first or second, sophomore, second year in university people, the people who are most likely to be influenced by influencers. One Russian revolutionary said that it's much more easier to find people who will support revolution in not revolution, but doesn't care even if you will do it revolution or anti-revolution. These guys, these people who is protesting and marching on the streets, is mostly students. You are easy to manipulate those students. You are easy to implement them way of thinking that we here live in bad conditions. We here are for freedom. Let's fight for freedom. Let's make a revolution. It's pretty easy to make those people believe in such ideas. And all of them, not grown-up adults. You pretty much supporting Dave here. What you supporting here is prevent of legal actions against the murderer in the first place. This whole situation begins, I need to remind you probably because you don't care about this, because one Hong Konger killed one Taiwanese girl and then chopped her body apart. And China wanted this person to be prosecuted for the murder. This is where it all starts. But suddenly it's escalated because, first of all, many criminals still live in Hong Kong since they run away from the China mainland, where they sell opioids, where they sell people, kill people, rob people, etc. And when Hong Kong was separated from mainland China, they all ran away over there to get away from justice system. And right now, if this if this agreement will be achieved and all those people will be found in Hong Kong, they will be prosecuted, because China does not forget the crimes that have been made against the people of China, not the government of China. I want to stress out once again, I was in China once in my lifetime. I hate China, just simply hate, it's personal. I hate Chinese people. But you know what? I talk to youth of country. I talk to people who are, well, a little bit older than youth. I ask them, who are they listening to mostly? Communist Party or just living on their own? And this guy with his nails painted in all colors of the fucking rainbow tell me that no, we are okay. We don't care about Communist Party of China. He didn't say, oh no, you don't understand, you know, the Communist Party of China is the best thing ever on the planet, and it's, it's so beautiful and wonderful, and looking on the sides. No, they say, Communist Party? No, we live on our own right now. So Dave, you cannot sit on both chairs at once. Get one for you, or otherwise you look like hypocrite, for me at least. Because once you're saying that mainstream media is lying, but when it benefits you personally and your agenda or propaganda, I don't know what you're trying to imply here, it suddenly MSM is absolutely 100% correct on this question, because you have no other sources but protesters who are, let's be fair, probably, as you assuming here, and I will assume here, probably are well supported by European and American politics, because some leaders of protesters, instead of being in Hong Kong and protest, they was in Europe and in United States, if I remember correctly. I don't remember about United States, but they definitely was in United Nations, looking for support for their actions and getting support from European Union politics. The same politics that you forget that you're fighting against. So Dave, before you understand the situation, before you really get into the core of the problem, maybe you shouldn't act like a blizzard in such situation, thinking only about the profits that doesn't care about freedom of speech, truth, or something along those lines. What makes me mad about the situation is that people like Dave Cullen, people like Sargon Avocat, and many others use absolutely unscientific methods, use absolutely, unreliable sources, sharing their own opinion as the truth, only because they have thousands and thousands of subscribers. And all of this is only to gain money for the profits. And in this video you're saying that corporation making profits, it's a bad, but Dave couldn't make profits, it's a good. Yeah, I see what you did there.